All right, are we live?
We're working on it. We'll have to wait for the
Yeah, give it a couple seconds here.
Producer to. All right. Do you see us? Are we up yet?
I haven't got a notification yet.
Okay.
Actually, that's probably what was just going on my phone. Let me refresh.
Oh, we got to refresh.
Yes.
Get all refreshed.
Yes. Did you watch Punisher?
I watched a lot of it.
So good. So good.
Dude, when he's trying to break the little analyst dude,
Yeah,
and the guy drugs him, I was like,
so good,
that
man.
was
It was
genius.
really well done.
He goes, "Oh, you mean so if you get into a routine, you might lower your guard?" He injects him.
I think you would like the Todd Barry. You like Todd Barry? That guy?
Maybe.
Yeah, he's pretty funny. He's very deadpan.
I watched the first. I watched half of the first episode of F is for Family.
Oh, what? Only half?
That's all I had time for.
Oh, okay.
I was at.
But did you like it? What you saw?
It was pretty damn funny.
It's Bill Burr, man. I mean,
He's freaking just angry.
oh yeah. There we go. Slide back. There we go. All right. So are people seeing us?
Are we up?
Yep, you're up.
Yay!
Hey, welcome to Take Offense. Late episode, so hopefully more of you will be able to join us today.
Yeah.
Because we're usually on 10 o'clock on Sunday mornings.
If you're not in Virginia, we got hit with a hurricane that snowed.
It was called what was it called? A
snow bomb.
Something bomb. It wasn't snow bomb. It was something else. It was something bomb.
We got bombed.
It was not the bomb.
It was not the bomb. We got crushed.
Yeah.
So normally what happens in Virginia, it's kind of awesome. We get all this snow and we get to really enjoy ourselves. And then the next day it hits like 50 degrees and everything melts.
Yeah.
No. It's been 19 degrees.
Okay, something sticky's on the table. I need a paper towel, son. Because in the time where you were able to... She cleaned this table this morning, so of course a kid had to ruin that.
Oh, what did a kid hear? This is the guy.
It's like, I think it's syrup or something else.
Yeah, let's hope.
Still gonna cover that with paper towel. There we go. Put that there.
Because that's disgusting.
Yes, that's nasty. Damn kids. All right.
Boys. It's boys.
Yeah.
Little, you know, girls don't leave sticky stuff laying around.
But
they don't.
So actually, I'm gonna cross this out too. So yeah, I'm Cody. For those of you who are watching for the first time,
I'm Nick. Nice to meet you.
For those of you who don't know us, most of you do know us. If you don't know us, hey, thanks for watching.
Welcome.
What's today's top 5?
Today's top 5. We're gonna do it after the break, but because we usually go an hour, then we take a break, an hour-ish, then we take a break, and then we come back and do the top 5. Today's top 5 is gonna be the top 5 things you do when you're snowed in. Cause
with or without power.
With or without power, yeah.
I had no power for days.
I had no power for 10 seconds.
Yeah. So.
And he's got no cable, and I have everything. So
yeah,
I've been binging the hell out of shit.
Yeah, all of my stuff ended up on my phone. And they got all shitty with me, too. They made me all 3G for a while.
Oh.
And it's like, that's not cool. That's not cool at all. Don't 3G me. I pay for unlimited 3G and me. That's not cool.
Why late? Cause it's yeah, that was Scott. Why late? Because
Mother Nature's a cunt.
Yeah, that's one way to put it. Yeah, he had to dig his car out, and
I did, and I did. I actually was going to take the all-wheel drive because my mother-in-law spends the winter.
Excuse my crinkling over here.
My mother-in-law spends the winter with us, and she's from
scissors, boy.
No.
Knife's not going to help me on this one. I want scissors. I want to open it with a knife.
Don't let him cut himself.
I'm not going to cut myself. I use knives all the time.
I use knives all the time.
I think I cut people.
What are you opening?
I don't know. He's opening something. He's a bumble. He's got his bumble teeth in.
Mm-hmm.
He's got his big boy teeth in. Mm-hmm. Is it candy?
Mm-hmm. A lollipop.
Oh, It's a bumble ball gag.
It, it was in my stocking.
I'll bet it was.
It's watermelon too. That's really good.
Oh, yeah. You gotta have a ball gag. Why not have watermelon?
But yeah, that's why we're on late today.
Yeah, no, I decided that the wife took the all-wheel drive that the mother-in-law brought down from the wilds of Michigan because you sort of need it up there. They have people. Dude, I was in Michigan. It was horrible. We're up there and it starts snowing Christmas
Which is what
Eve.
everybody says when they come back from Michigan.
Oh my God. Especially Christmas time, snowy time. So we're up there and Christmas Eve it starts snowing. And the wife's like, be careful, you know, I'm in a front wheel drive minivan which handles snow just fine. It's been in snow plenty of times. And there's all these people from Michigan plates, sitting in the ditch. Okay, you people are supposed to know how to deal with snow. What the hell?
You just come to Virginia and just be like, fuck it.
Yeah, so I'm driving, nice stopping distance, not going crazy, just taking my time. And people are blowing past me and ended up in the ditch. So, Yankees, no talking smack. Because I was where you're from. And you drive for shit there, too. So, no. You don't get to pick on us. Because everybody's plates had Michigan plates. And they were all in... And then some idiot goes by in a Mustang with rear-wheel drive, driving sideways down 269 or whatever the hell that road was. Flying down the road. It's like, you're from here. Quit it.
And you know what's bad is I went to work yesterday and I didn't see one wreck. And I went from here to Chesapeake, Virginia Beach, Chesapeake, down 64... all the way down 64 to Greenbrier. And yeah, I didn't see one wreck. Plenty of cops out, which kind of surprised me, but
yeah, cops aren't fooling around.
But yeah, it was and everybody was driving fine, which surprised the crap out of me.
Pull up some numbers.
My friend John, who's an FBI agent, got his new FBI car, and he got a Dodge Charger.
His friend John. We can't say his real name.
Just don't say his last name. But
yeah, how many Johns are in the
he got a Dodge Charger, and I'm talking to him at Christmas time, and I'm like, dude, that sounds like the dumbest thing ever. You're in Illinois. It snows its butt off. And he's like, oh no, Nick. It's a Dodge Charger, and when the back wheels start slipping, it automatically turns into all-wheel drive.
Yep.
And I was like, oh my God. And he goes, yeah. So it's a 300 horsepower, just go get it car. That's also a Subaru. How amazing is that?
I got to preach for a second. I planned on this.
Preach.
Listen, brothers and sisters. This white stuff out here
That's so gracious.
Is the devil's creation.
It is. This is proof that hell is cold.
Yeah.
It is. Nothing good comes from snow.
And ice.
When
Ice is worse.
When it's hot out, I don't care how hot it gets. You can still go out and live in it. It's okay. When it's icy and snowy out, you don't get to go to work. You don't get to go do fun things. It's terrible. It is the devil's work. And I know what you're saying, but it's so beautiful. Just remember this. Lucifer was the most beautiful of the angels.
The morning star.
Remember that. Snow is proof that hell is cold. The Bible is lying to you about hellfire and brimstone.
The Bible never says hellfire and brimstone.
Well, yeah.
That's actually somebody else.
Well, it does say stuff about burning in hell, right? Or about being hot in hell. Okay, anyways.
Nope, never.
Anyways, it doesn't say anything about hell being hot? All right, good. Because I was going to say, if it does say that in the Bible, that person thought, wait, cold doesn't sound scary. Let's make it sound scary.
Well, if you live in the desert, cold definitely doesn't sound scary. Well, that's the thing is people are talking up north. Oh, well, you can always put on more clothes, but when it gets too hot, you can only take off so many clothes before the cops come. If it's cold enough, if it's hot enough, you just hide in the house and drink water. You're fine. if it's cold enough, you can be in the house covered in every blanket you have and still die.
Mm-hmm.
It'll kill you.
Here's some statistics for you guys. As of January 5th at 8:24, Virginia State Police had responded to 437 crashes and 592 drivers with disabled or stuck vehicles.
So we had almost 500 crashes
And that was as of January 5th.
Where?
from
Virginia.
Friday. From
The whole
Friday to
state.
now.
The whole
That's
state
the whole
of
Oh,
state.
the whole state.
That's not bad.
Yeah, in a whole state, that's
Within
pretty good.
36 hours.
Within 36 hours?
That was as of January 5th.
For
Oh.
Virginia, that's normal.
Yeah, I mean, you disabled cars. Yeah. Heck
Hey,
yeah.
how many of I'm willing to bet a majority of those were disabled cars and not crashes.
437 crashes, 592 disabled
Oh.
stuck vehicles.
Oh, so
Yeah,
it's
so it still
1,000.
was more disabled cars.
But let me tell you, I saw 50 crashed cars in Michigan in 2 hours, just from wherever the hell we were.
Scott said, "Gotta get the milk." You know what's funny about that? I went out the day it started because we had a friend grab us a gallon of milk and bread because she was going out. She got the last 2 loaves of bread, one for her, one for us. And I was like, you know what? We need some other stuff. I'm gonna go out. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna try BJ's, dude. Fully stocked with milk. The bread was the only thing that was mostly gone, but I got 2 loaves of the giant Sunbeam loaves, which is awesome. The place was dead. I walked up to the register, straight onto the register.
That's bizarre. That's so strange. That never
And this was
happens.
while it was snowing.
Now, do you go to the one in Virginia Beach or the one up at Military?
Military. It's the closest one.
Gotcha. Now, here's the crazy part. My wife asked me, because she's from Michigan, why do people in Virginia eat French toast when it snows?
Huh? They
Milk
do?
and bread.
Milk, bread, and eggs get sold out. That was all she could think of. Was, why do Southerners eat French toast when it snows? Now, if she didn't...
That's why the cinnamon was gone.
That's why all the cinnamon's gone. There's probably no vanilla extract, no cinnamon. All the eggs are gone. Everybody wants French toast when it snows.
We didn't have French toast. I did make pancakes, though.
Oh, and Jacob's been begging
Pancakes are
for
Vanilla extra.
vanilla extract. He has been asking and asking.
He wants to make snow cream.
Snow cream.
Oh, see, that's not what I thought he wanted it for.
He wants to make snow cream.
Because if you put vanilla extract in Coke, if you put enough of it, you get drunk.
Oh yeah, don't tell him that.
He's watching.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Yes. No vanilla extract. Eggo waffles
You have
fuck
to
the
do a
world.
lot.
Scott says Eggo waffles fuck the world. I knew it wasn't the apocalypse because 7-Eleven was still open across the street. It was still open here too.
Yeah.
The one down here.
7-Eleven never closes.
Yeah.
Oh my God, we were at a 7-Eleven yesterday. Talk about being offended, which I really wasn't. I was in shock. 7-Eleven can't take credit cards. I guess their thing got knocked out, so it says cash only. And there's a line of us all getting coffee and some stuff at 7-Eleven. And there is this woman at the register scratching her scratch tickets. And as she wins, she turns them in and asks for more scratch tickets.
That's what they do.
The guy behind me just looked at me and he goes, "Is she scratching in line?" And I'm like, "Looks like it." And he goes, "Oh my God, this place." And I'm like, "Where are you from?" And he goes, "Charlotte." I'm like, "Ah, yes."
They don't have lottery in Charlotte, do they? Or in North Carolina?
Yeah, they do.
Oh yeah, they do.
I didn't think they did because that's why a lot of gas stations, like on the borders, will build half in Virginia and half in North Carolina.
I've got Mega Million
Southland.
tickets at Southland.
That's why, because you buy them in the Virginia part of the store.
No, I bought them at the register where I bought the cigarettes. There's no Virginia part of Southland. Southland's in North Carolina.
By the way, don't buy Mega Millions tickets in North Carolina because you have to go to Raleigh to get your winnings.
And? Dude, I win like 200 million. Guess what? I don't give a shit how far I gotta drive.
Yeah. I'll Uber.
Oh,
that
and
bitch.
speaking of which, Powerball got one last night. One ticket, 570 million.
Mega Millions was one ticket too.
Oh, it got one Friday?
Yeah. So it's up. They're both back to 40.
Okay. Well, I mean, but 570. Well, I mean, they'll get like 55% of that after taxes and stuff. But
No, they won't. Not if they take the whole thing.
No, that's what you get when you take. There is no an annual payout anymore. They stopped doing that.
Really?
Yeah. If you take the whole thing, you'll get about 55%, or when you get about 55% of it, ish, somewhere in there.
So there's no annual payout.
No, they
give
got
you
rid
the
of that.
lump sum.
They just give you the lump sum
So
and
why
say
don't they give you 500, the actual 500 million now?
taxes.
Oh no, but if you, they don't do annual payout. Are you sure?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so you get the whole thing.
What game?
Yeah.
Oh, see, back in the
I'm
old,
pretty sure it's Mega Millions.
so back in the old days when if you took the lump sum, you didn't get the whole thing because they counted on the annual payout to be able to collect more.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
So now they just take all the taxes straight out of that lump sum, so you don't have to pay that money once on that money you won.
That's cool.
So 570 million, they're going to get 250, 285, 242, or no, sorry, close to 300,
Close to 300.
if not over. But yeah, still, I mean, I don't know what I'd do with that. 300 million. I mean, get a new laptop, I guess.
Had to get a house.
I'd buy an
You'd
island.
hook a brother up too.
Buy an island and forget about all my friends.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
No.
I buy an island and invite everybody to a fight night.
Send out the plane.
Yeah, that's it. Buy an island. That's what Sharon said. No, I wouldn't buy an island because, honestly, I like being around civilization. I really do. I'm not one of those. I don't think I could live out in the woods and do all that shit for a long period of time. I really don't.
Cody needs people.
I need people around, yeah, and roller coasters. So yeah, I need to
Mega
be around.
Millions still has both options.
Oh, it does?
Cash out. Maybe it's Powerball that doesn't have.
Maybe
the-
it is because I had heard it was years ago. I heard that they stopped doing. Maybe they brought it back,
Huh. I don't know.
or maybe it was just Virginia Lottery that was.
I got kind of a gripe. It snowed on Wednesday, Thursday. Not one kid in my neighborhood offered to shovel anybody's walk.
Wow, Talon and Jake did. They went
Did
out.
y'all do it?
I shoveled someone's driveway.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah. He even put it out into the neighborhood Facebook page that he was doing it.
That's awesome.
Yep.
Nobody, no kids were shoveling walks or driveways. I just sat there and shoveled my own.
Thursday morning.
Not that I have a problem.
Peter, I like your idea, Peter. He said buy out Bush for a few days. Hell yeah. Have Busch Gardens just open just for me and my friends for like 2 days straight? That would be amazing. Are you kidding me?
Oh yeah.
Full staff.
Full staff.
Oh, they would just be bored the whole.
I wouldn't do full.
Follow us around with parasols and fans.
See, that would be no. You know what? I would open it up. Because it fits about 30,000, right? 33,000, I think, is what the max is. It's probably gonna get bigger when they open up the new Hamlet in a couple years. But yeah, you guys didn't know that, did you? Some of you did. No, I mean, I would probably invite like 10,000 people or so, because then the lines still aren't going to be long with 10,000 people in the park, and they would have a reason to do shows and have all the food open and everything. But
Sharon said she'd fly in for that. I'm like, you better, bitch.
oh yeah,
That's my BFF.
that'd be awesome. You reduce the amount of shows. Make the entertainers only do like 2 or 3 shows a day. Whatever.
Pay everybody.
Just pay everybody, man.
Everybody's getting paid.
Just pay everybody. You just won't need the cashiers because everything will be paid for. Food and everything would be paid for. Well,
That's awesome.
souvenirs you have to pay. I'll make it a discount thing, okay? Because we're not going stupid with this, all right? And
Whatever,
games will do a discount on that too, because I don't need everybody walking out of there with a freaking teddy bear that they can't fit in their damn car. I always think that shit is hilarious. They have these stuffed animals that you win in the games that are bigger than me. How the fuck are you getting that home?
Oh, dude, we were on the tram once, and the guy who was the tram operator was one of the cleverest dudes ever. Guy was a comedian. He's like, yeah, you're driving along, and you're walking through the park, and you're thinking, yeah, you know what I really need is a Pegasus unicorn. But you guys aren't thinking that through. What are you going to do when you get it home? Ride it to work? I mean, let's face it. The cat's going to claw it up. The dog's going to pee on it. After a week, you're going to throw the thing in the backyard and nobody's going to want it. What'd you spend? $1,000 to win that thing? Come on, people. This guy was awesome.
That's great.
As he's driving along, he's like, yeah, this was back when Anheuser-Busch was there. Yeah, there's Anheuser-Busch. That's where we get our liquid encouragement.
Sharon, who lives in Florida, said, I've seen a Shamu strapped to the roof of a car. The problem was it wasn't a stuffed animal. No.
Oh, damn.
They were trying to save it, poor little bastards.
They aren't poor little bastards.
Oh, dude, I watched this thing. Free Willy!
If you say Blackfish, I swear to God, we're stopping the show, and you and I are no longer friends.
It wasn't Blackfish. It was a show about predators, super predators, and how those things are really super social. And if you see sick ones, what you see is their dorsal fin starts to droop. And if you watch the fish in the killer whales in,
I'm about to say they're mammals, not fish.
Whatever, they swim. Anything that swims is a fish.
You're over here trying to defend them, and then you're gonna be like, "Fuck them."
I just, you know, you do what you're gonna do, but don't pretend that these things aren't sad and suffering and sick.
Okay.
They're locked in a little pool. I mean, you just said you wouldn't want to be in an island. Imagine if you couldn't leave this place ever again. Just this apartment. This is all you get for the rest of your life.
Okay, that's all they've had their whole lives. That's all they know. They at the death of Tilikum, all of the killer whales at SeaWorld parks have been born in captivity. All of them were born there. Not one of them has ever been in the wild.
So if a kid's born in an orphanage, is it okay for him to live in an orphanage
Imagine
for the
if-
rest of their life?
Yes. Fuck that kid. Should have been born somewhere else.
That apparently the way their brains work, they need communication and socialization and things like that, and it's really bad for them.
They get it though. They're not alone in a pool.
They don't have a pod, dude.
Peter said drop by PETA with it strapped to the roof.
Ah!
True story on who, Sharon? Who's giving you the true story, me or him? It's probably me.
Thanks, Sharon.
Yeah, Sharon's very close to the Orlando area, so she's all that. And for a short while, she did work at the Disney parks.
No, I mean, you know, they're born in. I mean, this is all they know, though. I mean, this is all they've been born. This is what they're bred to do.
You know what this sounds a lot like? Slavery.
Okay.
You know, they don't know. It's what they were bred to do. They were born into it. Why should they know any different? Not a big deal.
You put them in the wild, they're gonna die.
Just don't have them born into. Just stop having them born. Stop having freaking apex predator. No Shamu. How many Shamus are there?
Every park has one.
So they're all named Shamu.
Well, not all of them are named Shamu. Like the main one becomes Shamu type of thing, you know.
Do they even do shows anymore?
No, I think they've officially stopped the shows now, and it's a killer whale experience, not a show.
That seems like bad. That's your experience, bitch. You see the teeth on those things? Their teeth are like that big. You have a killer whale experience, you're done.
No, you're not. Not if they're trained. Okay.
York County schools closed tomorrow.
You know what? Here.
Virginia
How about
schools
this?
are
You know what?
All
Nope.
schools.
That's it. I just figured it out.
What you got?
You let your dog go. Same thing.
Oh, don't tempt me.
It's-
Oh, don't tempt me. Oh.
I could do that and
What?
not catch a charge.
But think about it, though. Think about it. It's the same
Yeah.
thing with dogs, right? Same thing with dogs.
Yes.
Yeah,
It's the
absolutely.
same. You're doing the same thing.
Yeah, you're right. And I'll tell you what, after this dog, never getting another one.
And cats.
You're never getting another one. Doesn't mean Laura will go.
I'll take it for a drive.
Where's the dog? He found a nice home in the country.
Farm. I brought him to the farm. You know, where he can run and be happy.
Scott just said you can ride an orca at SeaWorld for $20 this spring in Orlando.
Yeah, because that's safe.
I'd do it. Oh, I'd do it in a second.
I know you would.
That'd be cool as shit. I've swam with dolphins. That's awesome.
I've swum with dolphins out on the ocean.
I watched them from the fantail of an aircraft carrier while I read. I used to sit on the fantail and read, and especially when we were down in Florida, they'd just be playing in the wake. Which, it's an aircraft carrier. It's 90,000 tons. That's one hell of a wake.
That's a good wake. They're having a good time.
Yeah.
You think, what are those things called? That was interesting.
Yeah, you saw it out here, yeah.
Mama. Right here.
I saw that on the phone out of context. It was like, Cody's having an episode.
Yes.
But, yeah, no.
Sorry, I just got an email from
By the way, when did we start?
138.
138?
Okay.
Okay.
Because it just occurred to me that
okay.
we don't know when to take a break.
Yeah, it just, I got an email from school. Sorry, I had to check that. I start school this week, so.
Yay. Are you going Wednesday?
Thursday. I have Mondays and Thursday classes. But the email was just to remind us that they had canceled.
What time?
Monday. I got to be in school at 6.
So you go like 6 to 9?
6 to 9 on Thursday, and it's 6:30 to 9:10 on Mondays. But it's all the way out of the Chesapeake campus on Cedar Road. So, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's a hike.
Yep.
All right.
But
Scott
hey.
said you can help Hollister Dolphin for about 30 this summer between the hours of 4 and 5.
Cool.
Can we do what?
I don't understand.
Oops, you can help polish a dolphin.
That sounds
Stop.
I was like,
Polish a dolphin.
For $30. Man, I'd polish my dolphin for free all the time.
Shouldn't the dolphin be paying us if we're polishing the dolphin? That sounds a little sketchy. If you're going to pay to polish
Maybe he's trying to say, oops, you can help a Polish dolphin. Hours of 4 and 5. Poland's
landlocked country. Yeah, we get it.
Anyways.
Maybe there's rivers, dolphins in the rivers.
Maybe we get them in our rivers. I've seen them out there. We've seen them out past the high rise or on this side of the HRBT.
Really?
When we're out fishing, yeah, I see them all the time. We saw a whole pod of them, dolphins.
oh yeah.
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 They like the wake, well, the back end of where like the motor, it's wake-ish. They'll jump through it.
Oh, nice.
He says it depends on how shiny it becomes.
Polish that
dolphin. Polish it. Oh my God! For those of you who are new, this is about how the show goes. We talk about all kinds of shit, and
I was still sad about the whole kids not shoveling snow. I'm glad your kids did, because I was really kind of blown away. Like nobody shoveled snow.
Something we do bring up every once in a while when it happens. We lost another icon this week.
Yeah, we did. Jerry
Van Dyke.
We lost somebody else too. I can't remember who it was. We lost like 3 this week. I'm trying to remember who the other ones were. Crap.
Hold on, I'm pulling it up. You don't have to worry about it. I got it right here.
Got it right there.
Stars we've lost. 404. Oh no, here we go. Okay, maybe not.
While he's doing that, I saw one. I get confused when I hear the word service used with government agencies. The Internal Revenue Service, the U.S. Postal Service, Cable Service, Civil Service, Federal, State, City Service, and Customer Service. This is not what I thought service meant. But today I overheard 2 farmers talking about one of their bulls servicing a cow. And then, bam, it all came into focus. Now I understand what those agents are doing to us. Exactly. Go in your room. What?
He's okay.
What are you doing?
He'll be okay. He's playing PlayStation.
Oh, playing PlayStation. Because I was going to talk about the guy in Brazil. The poor guy in Brazil who died.
Oh, well, he's probably already seen that.
Well, he needs to know that, actually, so that's probably a good thing. Okay, so there was this teen in Brazil who was killed. Well, he wasn't killed.
He died.
A teen in Brazil passed away. He had jerked off 42 times.
In a row.
Without stopping. So 41's the limit, guys. No, not past 40. In fact, just stop at 40. 40 is probably the safest place to go. You hit 40, just wait till tomorrow. Now, I don't know if it's 40 a day, because the body does take time to recuperate and recover. So, you got to be careful.
Oh, I was the one that shared that.
Okay.
41's the limit, babe.
Yeah, 40.
I don't even.
And I was saying even 40, just, you know, because...
I don't even pass 2.
Okay.
Really?
You don't need to know that.
I'm almost 50 and I beat you regularly. Wow. God damn, dude.
John Young, astronaut who walked on the moon.
Yes, there was him and somebody else.
Paul Stewart from Star Trek.
Who?
Young guy from Star Trek. I don't know which Star Trek. I'm trying to, excuse me, look him up.
Paul Stewart.
Stewart, S-T-E-U-E-R.
There was somebody else, and I can't remember who it is. But anyway, yeah, we had a couple of people pass away. But Jerry Van Dyke, definitely one of them. He was the
lady from
coach.
Dick Van Dyke died.
The lady from... That was last week, actually. I think we covered that one last week.
Did we?
I believe so.
Yeah.
I believe so.
So, yeah, I've been binging shows since we started snowing.
No. You can't talk about that yet.
Oh, I can't? Okay.
By the way, I will share this. I don't know who thought of this. I don't know who thought this was a good idea. This is not a good idea. This is a horrible idea. Parents are saving their kids' teeth as they lose them. And as they lose their teeth, when they finish them up, they sew the kids' teeth into these things called tooth monster dolls. That's what they look like. Why is that a good idea? That's a donut of disapproval. That is horrifying. Horrifying. I'm going to share this to the thing right now. It's just disgusting. So you'll be able to go to Take Offense and see. This is some nasty stuff. Post.
Dude.
Peter said no, assistant coach. Yeah, we know Jerry Van Dyke was the assistant coach. Shut up.
But they called him coach.
No.
Didn't they call him
Frank
coach?
T. Nelson was coach.
Oh, I thought they called that dude coach too. Whatever.
The dad from Poltergeist was coach.
Yes.
What? Yeah, go ahead. Hey,
Scott says 42 is for a lightweight.
What is that?
Scott says 42 is for a lightweight.
So I guess you get.
Maybe that kid just didn't have a good diet or something. I don't know.
Maybe he wasn't drinking enough water and he dehydrated himself to the point of death.
That might be it.
Eat a bunch of salt. Who knows?
Yeah, so,
God bless America, people.
What is up with all the fires this season? Like in the last 2 to 3 weeks.
Here?
Even before the snow.
oh.
Well, in Portsmouth, the church burned down. I think that's what she's referring to.
Well, the church.
I was going
and
to say, in
then,
Oregon, there's been a bunch of them.
My friend Crystal.
Because people don't
just
know how to
shared
pump their own gas.
A house in Portsmouth.
Who doesn't know how to pump their own gas?
Okay,
People in Oregon.
until just recently,
Oh, I saw that. They were like, oh, they have this. Hold on. Let me see if I can find it. Oh my God.
Oh my god.
Oh my God. Oh my God. This is awesome. So I can find it.
okay,
How do you
so
find saved shit on your?
you go up here to your little menu thing,
Mhm.
and then
Saved.
scroll down and hit saved.
Saved.
It'll be 10% smarter than the object you're working with.
Saved. Here it is. So this is pumping your own gas. These are tweets from Oregoners.
Oregonians.
Concerning the whole pumping your own gas thing. And of course it won't load. Here we go. Do you think Oregon should allow self-service gas stations statewide? Yes or no? And lots of comments. I've lived in this state my whole life. I refuse to pump my own gas. I had to do it once in California while visiting my brother and almost died doing it. This is a service only qualified people should perform. I will literally park at the pump and wait until somebody pumps my gas. I can't even. This is by Mike. And then Carrie says, I don't want to pump my own gas. I hate the smell and having to get out in the winter in a skirt? No way.
Who the fuck doesn't like the smell of gas?
That's exactly what a lot of the comments said. Somebody named Chris posted, apparently most people in Oregon assume that in order to pump gas, you must first remove all the people from the vehicle, stand in the open while thugs attack from all angles while being sprayed with gas. No, we should not pump our own gas. Disabled, seniors, people with young children in the car need help. Not to mention getting out of your car with transients around and not feeling safe. This is a bad idea. That's a real statement.
Okay, now, mind you, before this, Oregon and New Jersey were the only states that had that you weren't allowed to pump your own gas. And I went and visited Oregon a few years ago. And I was in a Chevy Spark, so it took like 3 days for me to need gas. And I pull up to the pump, you know, just, it's my thing. You know, I'm just in my...
No, get out.
I'll
Nope.
sit in the chair. Mom said I could play.
You can't have the chair. Go. It's our chair. No! There's freaking stuff on that chair. Don't, you're going to break something.
Good.
Go beat your child.
I will.
It's not allowed.
Well, it's not on video.
Oh no, we'll beat him on video. Coming soon on video. Coding is gonna beat his child. I got a belt. I brought a belt just for
And you
it.
know, while we're at it, we'll beat the hell out of that kid that you posted the video of.
I didn't even watch it
Yes.
because I heard her
We
watching it. And I didn't want to. There's another one I got to talk about on that one too. But no. So when I went to Oregon,
Here's Sandy. You gotta listen to Sandy. I don't even know how to pump gas. I am 42, native Oregonian. I say no thanks. I don't want to smell like gasoline.
Okay. So when I went up to Oregon, I wasn't thinking about it. Me and my cousin were in the car. I was driving. So I get out of the car and this lady walks up to me and goes, "What kind of gas do you want?" Regular. She's like, "Okay, credit card." I'm like, "I'm not giving you my credit card." And Ken, my cousin goes, "You don't pump your own gas here." And I went, "Oh yeah, I totally forgot about
Full
that."
service. Holy crap.
Full service, yeah. I was like, "Sweet, here's my card." She swipes my card, gives it back to me. We go inside. She put like 12 cents of gas in the Chevy Spark, and it's seriously, no, I'm serious. I needed, this was a fill up. $9.
Yeah. Yeah. My wife's got a
And you pay extra for gas in Oregon because of the full service. That's another reason. Your gas prices are going to go down for this.
but
Yelling at me.
I'm not yelling at you. I'm yelling at the stupid Oregonians.
Kelsa says, yuck. Pumping my ON fuel in freezing temperatures and handling a nasty old fuel nozzle that 50 other people have touched that day, and who knows what cooties are on there. No thank you. It's nice to not have to pump my own fuel.
No, the other 48 states.
Just bring your butler with you then. He'll
Yeah.
do it.
Whatever.
Have your servants come with you, because that's what you people sound like. Entitled little bitches.
Fear not, Oregon. Jim has classes for you. The first class will be how to pump your own gas, followed by tying your own shoes, dressing yourself, operating a self-checkout, dialing your own phone, mowing your own lawn. We call that cutting grass in the South. Split your own firewood, how to feed yourself, make your own dinner, wash, dry, and fold your own laundry, operating a can opener.
Manual.
And then they go, a manual can opener. Who the hell does that?
And from what I'm understanding,
Jake, 'cause he keeps
Go ahead.
what I understand though is they're only doing. My cousin said something about. So let me look this up so I don't misquote him. My cousin Jeremy, who's really awesome, and native Oregonian, been there his whole life.
Isn't a whiner.
No, he's not. Jeremy is not a whiner. Jeremy is awesome. Jeremy actually has trained with Randy Couture.
Fun.
Yeah. And all those guys, Chael and all those guys from Oregon.
While he's looking this up, the next one is Andy posts. Man, it's like one of those infomercials where you can't perform menial tasks. Do you have trouble pumping your own gas? Guy grabs handle and sprays himself in the face.
Yep.
Do we have the state for you?
It's Jeremy said it's only in counties with 40,000 people or less. So in most places you won't have to. It's hard to believe people can't figure out how to do something so simple. Our society is screwed. And that's a guy living in Oregon.
Anna Lane said she pumped her own gas once. It was horrible. No, I'm just like,
No, Anna Lane would pump her own gas and say, fuck all you people.
One time my dad came to Oregon and pumped his own gas. The street immediately lit on fire, caused a massive recession, and took away 20 billion jobs. I was in the back seat when my brother was nabbed through the locked door by a transient who raised him to be his human ottoman. Then Dad tried wiping his own windshield, but it turned out to be sulfuric acid. The car exploded with me in it, and I was killed.
I was killed.
Dad lost
The fact that they're posting this, I was killed. I was dead at the time.
I was dead.
That
Awesome.
is straight out of Eddie Izzard, man. Oh my god. Okay.
I died.
Let's see what we've had. At least twice a day, Newport News fire trucks have gone by our road. Why do I keep hearing whiny kids in the background? How does gas get put into lawnmowers, chainsaws, snowmobiles, and whatnot? Not there. Obviously, they don't mow their own lawns and use chainsaws and stuff like that in Oregon. No chainsaws are used in Oregon. Their logging industry is all saws, manual saws,
And axes. Well, this won't load anymore.
Okay.
Now you don't know how we spell it.
So,
Dude, that's insane. Yeah, how do you fill up a lawnmower? I mean,
it's the same damn thing.
so somebody else has to fill up your lawnmower can?
Yes. When you go to the pumps, they fill them up. That's how it works. Oregonians they cannot be trusted to do that.
I was in New Jersey once. I got out of the car and started
Yeah, because they
pumping.
do it in New Jersey as well.
I started pumping my own gas, and this guy goes walking up to me and goes, I'll do that. And I'm like, no, thanks. And he's looking at me, and I'm like, I'm good. And I finished up, put it away. And he goes, that'll be this much. Handed him the cash, walked away. And I was at a seminar, a chiropractic seminar, and I was talking to one of the guys, and I was like, dude, it was the weirdest thing. This guy, like, lost his crap because I was trying to pump my own gas. And the guy who runs the seminar starts laughing. He goes, Nick, you're not allowed to pump your own gas in New Jersey. And I'm like, yet another reason to hate this frickin' state. What a dumb state.
Yeah, and I have family who wonders why I don't want to move to Oregon.
I don't know about Oregon. I can't say anything. I've heard Oregon's a very nice place.
Oh, it's gorgeous to visit.
To visit. I love it. That's insane, dude.
Portland's
that?
great. It's I don't know what that is.
I don't know what that is.
Portland's
Oh.
great. It's a lot like Houston without a basketball team.
If you leave your computer plugged in,
Waiting for comments from Oregonians on that one.
it'll catch on fire and blow up.
Yep. So,
All right, I'll unplug my
Yep.
computer. Apparently, I think it just dimmed. I don't think it
it
changed.
just
anything.
ended. Oh, no, you're good.
It says you're not supposed to leave your computer plugged in at all times. So
Okay.
I don't know how to get rid of it.
Like that.
Tell it to shut up. Like
So,
tech support.
yeah, tech support. Yeah, like I said, Portland's a lot like Houston without a basketball team.
And less hot.
Portland has a basketball team.
Oh, do they really? Oh, the
Trailblazers.
Yeah, exactly. I actually knew that. I was like, wait a minute. I don't know. New Orleans doesn't have a basketball team.
Yes, they do.
No, we don't. We're like,
Watermelon is yummy.
I've been looking for a way to gag him for years. I didn't realize it was that simple. Just get him a watermelon pop, and he just can't talk. It's awesome. That's disturbing. That is so disturbing. Oh my god. Oh,
I don't want to hear it. You got naked in front of me during a show once.
There's no evidence of that. There is no video of that.
We have audio.
There's no video of that at all. None. In fact, I'm not even sure we still have that show on. Oh, it's still you still. It's on the cloud. We uploaded everything. Yes, we're gonna have to do that. We're gonna have to put these. We're gonna have to go through some of the old ones and put snippets in, just because we talked about some hilarious shit on those things.
Mm-hmm.
Peter said they can't do anything to you if you do pump your own gas. It is just the station gets a fine, I believe.
Let's go to Oregon. Let's go pump a lot of gas. Dude, that's hilarious.
Well, if you think about it from a business standpoint, well, I think a lot of people now just either do, pay at the pump or cash, or, prepay, period.
Yeah.
But before those options were available, I think the full service gas stations did prevent maybe a lot of drive-offs.
Don't know. Not sure. I do know of a trick where if you get a prepaid card that has at least $1 on it, you can stick it in the thing and fill it up and drive off. And, well, they have your plate, so, they'll find you eventually. But you can do it that way where they can't. Yeah.
No, because it knows your balance now.
Oh,
I've had it to where, because I have a card that's basically, for lack of a better term, my allowance.
Sure.
At times it was.
Smart idea. So many other girls.
And I didn't realize I was so close to having no balance. And I pumped, and it stopped right at what was available.
Wow.
Yep.
That's kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool. You were like, hey, the hell over.
Mm-hmm. But yeah.
It's about 2:24. Do we want to go ahead and break now?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we can do that.
We'll be back at 2:30.
Top 5. Stuff to do when it snows.
When you're snowed in.
Yeah, I'm going to do without power. Snowed in without power. He's going to do snowed in with power.
Okay.
Which will be pretty easy because he's got FiOS.
So do you. Well, you had FiOS until it snowed.
Where's the thing?
That's what she said.
Cabinet.
Zippity-doo-dah. Zippity-doo.
What are you gonna play?
I'm playing with you.
No, you're not.
Yeah.
You can't measure it.
You didn't even ask to play with me.
I can't
It's
see.
my turn.
I can't see.
Who's gonna take us to the spot?
This
Think
spot.
the fence. Oh, that's wrong.
Okay, you saw that
Wrong
last
way.
song. Mom. Mom.
This is why we don't want you here. Shh. Damn it.
You guys have been playing it since it snowed. I have not gotten on it once. So don't want to hear it.
Back off.
Watching TV
Exactly.
I also went to work.
for a day.
I've been outside in the snow for the past 3 days. I don't see you going to bed at the times I did.
Yeah, because that's healthy.
Yeah, I went to bed at 4, then 6, and 4.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah, it's really healthy.
I'm a Nimrod. You should be like me.
Yeah. I stayed up till 6 in the morning. Yeah, I didn't. You know why? Because I had to be at work at 7.
Yeah, just pull an all-nighter. All-nighter.
I'm setting the score.
Luckily, you're not using my car. Mom, can I get on your computer when y'all are finished? Maybe?
Because that's getting on the PlayStation.
Yeah. I saw you had got 5,000.
I've also had 4,000.
I've gotten a 9,000. I got an 80,000 and I crashed.
And 80,000.
Yeah.
That's
I did donuts. Don't try it because it was hard. It took me 3 times.
7,000. You saw that, right?
Yeah, I got a 9,000 too. I got an
Dude,
80,000.
this car
Then
is
I
beast.
crashed. You got the drift tires on it, that's all.
Yeah, because I wasn't able to do this at first.
Because you got like 55 seconds left.
Dude,
But you can't beat my actual score though.
it's like 70,000.
It's 77,000. I'm in second place on it. The highest drift on this is 78,000. I was 1,000 away too. Because when I was playing, I
If
did
there's a chance I could beat yours.
what 77,000.
Yeah. Do you see how beast I am?
You might, but you can't beat it on my account.
Dude, this car was like 27,000 to buy.
Dude, my cars are more expensive than that.
Okay, the fact I'm about to beat your score with a cheaper car,
You got drift tires.
and I just destroyed.
You have drift tires. I don't. I have grip tires.
Yeah,
Right.
I know.
See if I can be
So,
79.
Yeah, you gotta be 79.
Wait, you moved my place back down to third.
Yeah, you're in third, I'm in first.
Let's see what it says on the thing though. I want to see if it says my thing.
Yeah, it's not.
I don't know.
Because I'm not playing online.
I don't play online either.
See, it's only gonna show me for first place. I just destroyed that.
Really like to sweep. No wonder I've been trying to sweep almost the rest of the time since I was sweeping up.
Bad start.
He wrecked me.
You could have dodged it, because you weren't drifting.
I was about to.
You're already off. Bad start.
Why don't you shut up? 'Cause I don't see you doing better under my account.
I just have a better car.
No, you don't.
Apparently.
No.
Yours may go faster, but I have beast drift.
You got drift tires. Wait till we go under my account.
We're not switching.
Said just wait till we do.
We're not switching accounts.
I didn't say we were, did I?
You said just wait till we get to my account.
Yeah, when Dad gets off, we're going under my account.
That's not.
Yeah, you will.
No, you won't. You bought this.
For us. This is the 3D boy. It's not the 3D boy and coat.
I won already, dude.
Oh, let's see if Dad can get in there.
Because we don't turn it off. We can hear y'all, so be quiet. All right. Okay. Oh, that's right. Better. The reason I'm kind of freaking out whenever Cody grabs this thing, tell me that doesn't look like a ball gag. Right?
Yeah.
It really does. So he seems real excited about it, so we're not going to say anything.
Huh?
But oh my God,
Huh?
nothing,
What are you talking about?
nothing. We're just getting ready to wind back up. Oh, watch your head, bud.
All right, so Scott has posted his top 5.
Nice.
All right.
Top 5 in the snow.
All right, 5. This from Scott. Eat crap junk food. 4. Be lazy. 3. Polish dolphins. 2. Watch Take Events broadcast. Yay. And number 1, wait in anticipation for school systems to announce the next day is also going to be a snow day because roads still suck. Yeah, and they did. They've already canceled schools here. So,
They cancel school there too.
yep. And Scott's a teacher. So, all right.
Oh,
so
by the way, Virginia does not incorporate snow days into their schedule. So if you lose enough days, they have to somehow make it up.
Yeah.
They start canceling teacher work days and things like that.
Yep.
Not a good time.
So, I'm trying to think. My number 5. Shit. Do you have a number 5 yet?
Oh yeah.
All right, go for it.
Okay. Number 5, when you don't have power, you go shovel snow because you got nothing else to do. But if you, one of the things that, actually number 5 was get the generator running because when it's really cold, generators do not want to start. So
Scott says we have several snow days built in the schedule, but do not have to make them up, but we do have to make them up if we exceed that.
Portsmouth did that too. Virginia Beach does not, and Chesapeake
Virginia
does
Beach-
not. So
Virginia
we are
Beach-
more than likely either going to have some Saturdays or I don't know.
Yeah.
We were actually
What-
told that
one
we
year-
were taking away holidays.
Dude, come on. One
That was
one
like
thing
the
that
last second.
one thing that they do is they'll add time to school days. So kids will stay in school for like 20 minutes longer every day, which is crazy.
Or take away half days, normal half days.
Yeah. But yeah, I got the generator going. That was a lot of fun. The advantage we have is we have cooktop that is propane. So we can still cook.
Yeah.
So cooking is nice.
Yeah.
Watching my wife freak out is probably number 4 because, you know, she's like freaking out because where she's from, if they lose power, you just die. You're just going to die because, you know, it gets so cold that, you know, they break into the house after, you know, everything warms up and they start smelling the dead people. Just find a whole family like this. So 5 and 4 are, you know, 3 would probably be help your neighbor get out of his driveway because he has a Toyota 4Runner. And he bought the 4Runner just in case it snowed, but he bought a 2-wheel drive version.
So
So
what a pre-runner?
it's a 4Runner.
Is it actually called a 4Runner?
It's called a 4Runner, and it has no 4-wheel drive. It's a 2-wheel drive 4Runner.
It's like the green truck, which is a Toyota Tacoma, but it's called a pre-runner.
Yeah.
It doesn't have 4-wheel drive. I mean, it's got the big tires and
Yeah,
everything.
it has big tires, and he's spinning his back wheels, and he's like, so I walk out and I said, hey man, what's going on? And he's like, I can't get out of my driveway. And I'm like, oh, well, you should put it in 4-wheel drive. And he goes, I keep trying, I can't figure out how to do it. So I go, oh, it's easy. You know, open your door. And he opens his door, and I look into his selector switch, and there's no second selector switch. So if you're buying a 4-wheel drive, and there's no little switch that says put it into 4-wheel drive, you just bought a 2-wheel drive. You don't have a 4-wheel drive. So this poor guy, he goes, oh, that's why I got a really good deal on this thing. Yeah, they're a lot cheaper if they don't have 4-wheel drive. So we finally got him back in his thing, and he goes, oh, I bought this just in case it snowed. You have a 2-wheel drive, 4-wheel drive.
Yep.
I mean, 2-wheel drive 4Runner.
Yep.
And he goes, I didn't even know they made 2-wheel drive 4Runners. And I said, ta-da! So I got him back in his driveway. That was a lot of fun. That was probably number 3. He seemed very sad. I actually felt bad for him because he was trying to figure it out. Also, if your car says all-wheel drive, you don't have a selector switch. It's always all-wheel drive. So that's super handy too. So either it says all-wheel drive,
You're going under Mike.
or look for the thing that says put it in 4-wheel drive.
Hey
Yeah.
guys, how many people did y'all have to help? 7?
I helped 7 one day.
And then when we came back, we had to help. I think it was another 4Runner that was a 2-wheel out of the parking lot.
Yeah. So make sure if you're going to buy a 4-wheel drive, it actually says 4-wheel drive, or it's not.
Yeah.
Number 2 is probably make chili, because that was good. The wife asked me, you know, what do you want for your birthday? And I said, chili. And she said, chili. And I'm like, oh, trust me. So, freezing cold, we had chili. And she was like, oh, this is a great idea. And I'm like, doctor?
Not doctor.
Genius. Super genius. And I've never fallen off a cliff or been hit by an anvil. So, therefore, I am actually a super genius. If you don't get that reference, too bad.
You're too young.
You're too young. But, and number one was just read. I grabbed a bunch of books and just hung out. And the kids would get loud, and I'd say, go to your rooms. I'm reading. Leave me alone.
All right.
Funny that you should say that, because Wednesday, when all this started, I actually got to work from home that day. Well, I was supposed to be done at 5:30 and logged out, but I clocked out at 5:30.
Mm-hmm.
But I stayed on the computer until midnight doing work stuff. And I told one of my coworkers that I'd stayed till midnight, you know, doing work stuff because I didn't have anything else to do. And she's like, couldn't you have read a book? Damn, that's so logical. But,
Yeah, I read
All right.
the whole time. It
So,
was wonderful.
number 5 would probably have been playing SimCity.
You played SimCity.
I found it on. They actually have the app now. Game. It's a lot like the old school SimCity.
With the little diamond on the person?
No, that was Sims. The Sims. SimCity is when you're building a city.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I've been playing the crap out of that.
He probably has plows in his city because he's not a dumbass.
It doesn't snow yet. I haven't hit the disasters yet. They do have disasters and shit that happen. I remember in the old Sim games, I'm wondering if it happens on this one. Some of the disasters, like these massive fires break out, or but I remember on the old one, the old one, it would be they would have an alien invasion.
Oh, now that I could get behind.
Yeah. But you see, number 4, making pancakes. Make pancakes for dinner the other
Good
day.
idea.
That
That's
was
great.
good.
Now, I'll tell you what, the really cool thing was, I don't know why this happened, but I'm glad it did. I had like half a pot of coffee left, and so I filled up just a mason jar of coffee and put it in the fridge. Don't know why I did it. Can't remember why I did it, but I did it. Got up Thursday morning, no power, propane cooktop. I could heat coffee up. So I
Nice.
actually had coffee on Thursday.
Nice.
Very nice.
Nice.
Very nice.
Let
Make coffee when you can.
me see. Number 4. I haven't done a whole lot. I guess just like Scott said, be lazy.
Sure, why not?
Yeah.
I took a lot of naps.
I did. I slept too.
Yep.
Napping was nice. No
Um,
power, napping under covers is awesome.
Just kind of, yeah. I guess number 3 would probably be, along with Scott's number 5, just sitting around eating junk, watching TV, number 2, trying to think, crap. Cause I know what number 2 would probably, playing on my Christmas present. I got the Sega Genesis Classic.
Ah, there you go.
So it's got like 81 Sega Genesis games on it, and it's got a slot so you can put the old games in there too. Which I found out because I went to look. There's like 800 and something Sega Genesis games.
Oh my god. So
but-
he's been on eBay.
195, I think that's the number.
Yeah, and it comes with Sonic 1 and 2, Sonic and Knuckles, and Sonic Spinball, and the first 3 Mortal Kombats. Which was hilarious because I played the first Mortal Kombat first. I was like, oh yeah, original Mortal
Wait a
Kombat.
minute, we talked about this.
Did we?
Mm-hmm.
I know we talked about this because you were like, "Oh my God, there's only 6 people." to
7.
choose from."
Yeah, there's only 7 people. Yeah, so yeah, playing that, and number 1 would be binging the shit out of stuff on Netflix.
Yeah.
I have watched Between, which was a Canadian show. about this town that all of a sudden has this epidemic breakout, and everyone over 22 is dead. It's
How did
pretty
they
crazy.
survive?
Well, no, you gotta watch. What'd you do? God. Somebody's standing on our porch. Oh, I think it's Judy putting out her cigarette. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's really crazy. And Jeanette McCurdy's in it, who is Sam on iCarly and Sam and Cat. And it's really weird because she's like a pregnant teenager who's the son of the local pastor.
She's the son.
Or daughter, sorry, the local pastor. Yeah. But it's actually really good. I think it only was on for 1 or 2 seasons.
That was one of the cool things about losing Fios is the kids are like, what, we have no Fire Stick? Because they have their own TV in their own room, so they can't watch Fire Stick. So I went digging through my DVD collection and pulled out Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Mystery Men, Clueless. They had never seen Clueless.
Oh my God.
And so I pulled those out and said, I have failed as a father up till now to do my due diligence. Watch these. And so I know they watched Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and I know they watched Clueless. I think they watched Mystery Men. My eldest made me very proud because the youngest was like, what's with this guy with all the pimples? And my oldest goes, the spleen. And I was like, I'm so proud. And the youngest is like, I don't like how he talks. He's all gross. I mean, he's supposed to be. He's the spleen.
Who
smelt it, dealt it.
I caught up on The Magicians, so I have that DVR set for Wednesday, the new season.
Best text ever. And I'm going to say this out loud. What do we got? If you see my mom on Facebook, I'm still in the sink. Washing babies in sinks. You had to be there.
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
Best text ever. Huh. Cody texts me, he goes, yeah, I'm watching The Magicians. I'm like, awesome. The next text is, new game. Try to watch The Magicians without rubbing one out. And I was like,
dude,
yep.
it's Harry Potter meets Chronicles of Narnia meets Cinemax. I mean, it's one step below softcore. I mean,
dude, it's crazy because I didn't realize this. I thought they were actually saying fuck on the show, but they don't. Right? I was talking to Todd Peterson about this. They say fuck, and then bleep out. No, they don't bleep, but they silence the k.
Really?
Rewatch an episode. They say it every time, but they make you think they're saying it.
Because I was like, man, they're throwing a lot of fucks in this, man. That's
they
a
don't.
lot.
There's not one. It's just
wow. Well, what tripped me out was
you still see their lips move, but it's like it's a trick.
What's her name? Blonde chick.
Alice.
Alice. Her mom. You know, you first meet her mom and dad when they're having their Roman orgy at their house, and I'm sitting there looking at the mom, and I'm like, this chick looks familiar.
I met her when I was in the Navy.
Nope. You were talking about Ninja Turtles. She was the original April O'Neil. So I caught up Magicians, and I started watching, or I finished the first 2 seasons of Travelers on Netflix, the Netflix original.
I gotta watch that.
Really good show. What tripped me out is it's a time travel thing-ish. They send their consciousness back into another body. Because, like, a few hundred years into the future, we're in the single-digit millions because of an asteroid that hit Earth and all this other stuff that's going on. So they're so they're trying to change the future. And part of their oath is, even at the risk of my own birth. So if you change the future, you may not be born. Yeah. So they but it's obviously pretty crappy there because they're talking about how great hospital food is. But yeah, it's a whole lot there's a whole lot that goes into it. It's a really, really intricate show. But what tripped me out most on that one is I'm sitting there watching it, and the main guy, their leader of their group, because there's groups all over the world now, and they're in groups of 5, and they're all trying to stop these things from happening. And the group that you're watching, the leader is Eric McCormick from Will and Grace, and he's like this stuffed shirt FBI agent and very serious. And I'm like, Will? You know? This is not Will.
That's awesome.
But yeah, no, it's a pretty good show actually. I just finished the second season today and waiting for the third one to come out.
Comets will screw you up, dude.
Yeah.
That's what happened to the Atlanteans. Not the SCA people. We're still fine. But I don't know if you knew this, but you're in the Kingdom of Atlantia.
Oh, okay.
So Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, part of Georgia. I don't remember what else is the Kingdom of Atlantia.
I'm an Atlantean, just like Jason Momoa.
Oh yeah.
Stargate Atlantis. Well, wow! I didn't even put that together.
And
he's Aquaman. Wow, I didn't even put that together till just now that he was on Stargate Atlantis. He was an Atlantean, and he's
Aquaman.
And he was a lot leaner back then.
That
at
happens
Stargate.
a lot. I mean, they had a TV show a long time ago called War of the Worlds, and it was. I think they only did like 2 or 3 seasons, but one of the seasons they had this guy. He was like a kung fu master, and he was super lean and young, and it turns out to be Duncan MacLeod of the Clan MacLeod later on. But if you see him as Duncan MacLeod, he's got his man muscles.
Yeah.
And he's all like thick and
Adrian
strong.
something. I can't remember his
Adrian
name.
Paul.
Adrian Paul. There it is.
Well, Adrian Paul, back when, I guess I was in high school when that thing came out, he was young, like in his 20s, and he was super thin.
Mm-hmm.
The funniest part of the whole Highlander series, there's an episode where Mark Singer and Adrian Paul are in the same episode. And Mark Singer never takes off his shirt. And my dad starts laughing as he's watching this show. And for those of you who don't know, Mark Singer was the Beastmaster. And he's just shredded. The dude's just was a specimen back in the day. And Dad starts laughing hysterically. And I'm like, what's so funny? And he goes, dude, they're not letting Mark Singer take his shirt off. Adrian Paul would feel all self-conscious if he had to fight Mark Singer without his shirt on.
That's
Adrian
funny.
Paul's in good shape, but Mark Singer makes him look pathetic.
That's funny.
No, it was awesome. Mark Singer had the best line of any immortal of any of the Highlander things. "I'ma cut your head off with a Swiss Army knife."
That's not the best line.
That's the best line. He was awesome.
The best line was in the first Highlander by Ramirez. When he's fighting the Kurgan. I see my cut has improved your voice. Yes. That was in the middle of a brutal fight with the Kurgan because he just barely slit the dude's throat. And he hurts. I see my cut has improved your voice. So great. You can't be Connery. I mean, come on now. But Christopher Lambert. Christopher Lambert was great on Psych.
The French guy playing a Scot. The Scot plays an Egyptian / Spaniard. Oh my God.
And then you got the French guy playing a Japanese god. Raiden.
Oh yeah. God, yeah.
And then you talk about that because he did play a Frenchman on Psych.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, but then
He
you
actually played a
have
Frenchman.
you have the masterful cat burglar Despero. Despero on Psych, who was played by Cary Elwes, who was British.
He's British. So British.
Oh, so good though. I mean,
I, unlike some Robin Hoods, can speak with a proper British accent.
but no, we were we watched Princess Bride the other day.
We did too.
Love that movie.
Well, they had a thing on there where it would break every now and then. During the commercial breaks, Carrie would come on and talk about
really?
certain scenes. And the funniest thing he said the whole time was, you know the part where Rugen draws his sword and knocks him unconscious?
Yes.
He really did.
Yes.
Because
Yes.
Carrie goes, yeah, we need to figure out a way to put like rubber on the thing. And Carrie's like, well, dude, just hit me, but don't like hit me hard. Just hit me and I'll act like you knocked me out. Then I woke up in the hospital
Yeah.
getting stitches in my head.
And Christopher Guest felt so bad about it. I actually
Knocked him unconscious.
I heard I had the audiobook. I used to get audiobooks from the library when I was a driver.
Inside voice.
Oh, sorry.
Thank you.
I used to get audiobooks from the library when I was a driver, and one of them was Inconceivable, or it was As You Wish, the inconceivable story behind The Princess Bride, written and read by Carrie Elways, Wallace Shawn, Mandy Patinkin.
Oh my God!
Robin
really?
Robin Wright was on it. A lot of them were on it. Some of them were read by other people, but their parts were, like Fred Savage's part was read by somebody
Well,
else.
you'd have to. Andre the Giant was.
Well, no,
writing it,
but Andre the Giant didn't have any say in this. This was written years after Andre passed.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, this was written after Andre and Peter Falk had both passed. So they didn't have parts to say in it. When Carrie Elways wrote the book, he asked these people to do inserts.
Oh, awesome!
So it was really good. And hearing everybody speak, in their own voice and talk about this stuff, the surprising stuff that was done in it. Like you said, he asked him to. He's like, just hit me, and he knocked him out.
Yeah.
They shot the greatest sword fight of all time last because it had to be the greatest sword fight of all time. And Carrie had some sword fighting experience in movies, but Mandy had none.
Yeah.
And they brought the two guys
I
in.
thought it was the other way around.
No, Carrie had some.
It doesn't
But they
matter.
brought these two guys in. They'd done Star Wars and all that. They were both champion sword fighters.
Well,
and
the main instructor for their sword fighting was this old master.
Yes.
Who is just the guy's ridiculous
Yeah.
because they had that on one of the things, and he's teaching them sword fighting, and they're like, you don't seem to be teaching us choreography, and he goes, no, I was told this would be the greatest sword fight of all times, therefore you will be swordsmen.
Yes.
And they would have to train 6-8 hours a day with this sword master.
It was to the point where they would say, "Oh, cut, take 15," and the sword master would be like, "Come over here," and take him to the side. And they didn't get breaks.
Yeah,
They were practicing.
the whole time. It was
But what screwed that up?
ridiculous.
What screwed up, especially Carrie's practice time, was they'd given Andre a 4-wheeler to drive around the sets, especially when they're really hilly places, because one,
back problems.
well, he had back problems, and their golf carts that they were driving everybody else around in couldn't fit Andre. So he had his own giant, and they said this thing was huge. It was like the biggest 4-wheeler you could buy. And so he's loving. He's just driving around the hills, just having a blast. He kept telling Carrie to drive it. He's like, "You should try this out. Come on, boss," because he calls everybody boss. He's like, "You should try this out, boss. Come on, boss." And one day Carrie decided to do it, and he'd never ridden an ATV before, so he starts going over these rocks and ends up getting his foot stuck in the rocks and broke his foot.
So they had to wait till it
Well,
healed.
he said the guy came over. He's like, "Are you okay? It looked like that hurt." He goes, "Yeah. I need to see a doctor. Don't tell Rob Reiner, the director." Right. He's like, "He's going to fire me. I know he's going to fire me if I do this." And they're like, "All right, and then, so he goes and they had to put this thing on his foot and then like split his boot so his boot fit. When you see him limping around, especially after the scene where they fall down the hill, him and Robin Wright, and you see him struggling to get up and he's sitting with his foot straight out, that's because his foot was killing him. Anytime you see him sitting with his legs straight out, that's because his foot is really freaking hurting. So at one point, Rob goes, "So when are you going to tell me?" And he's like, "What?" He's like, "You don't think word made it to me about this? Come on, Carrie." He's like, "Well, I was afraid you were going to fire me." He's like, "Are you kidding me? You're Wesley. I'm not going to fire you. I picked you for this." And I don't understand, because a lot of actors were saying that they were afraid Rob was going to fire him, and I'm like, everything I've ever heard about Rob Reiner as a director, he's a actor's director. They absolutely love him. I mean, he's a comedian on top of that. He's a really funny guy and just loves to laugh. And Wallace Shawn the entire time thought he was going to get fired and replaced by Danny DeVito. The entire time. He's like, and he still doesn't understand why people think his role was funny.
Who?
Wallace Shawn. He's like, "I don't get it. I don't get why people thought my role was funny. I don't understand." He's like, I just don't get why people thought that was so good. He's like, "I didn't write any of it," and he's like, "I thought I was doing a terrible job and I was going to be replaced at any time." Yeah,
Great.
such a great. I mean, Fazzini is who he played. If you don't know
Inconceivable.
Yeah.
What great? That is like the most
Quoted
iconic line ever. Inconceivable.
Yep.
Everybody knows that.
Yep. And
You've never seen freaking Princess Bride. You look at a group of 500 people, you go, inconceivable. Everybody breaks out laughing.
Yeah.
Because they all know what it is.
Yeah. But you know, he just thought he was going to get fired all the time.
Carrie and Mandy were like, oh my God, we studied sword fighting and studied sword fighting. And the crazy part is, imagine this. You get guys who trained for, what, 3-4 months?
Mm-hmm.
3-4 months all the time. And that's what they looked like fighting with swords. Now imagine somebody who actually did train for 20 years.
Yeah.
And imagine what that would look like.
And their sword fight was amazing. That was a great sword fight in the movie. You know, for what it being a movie and these being actors and not sword fighters, it was really good.
They did very well.
And all those
'Cause-
defenses
'cause
and everything they were talking about were actual stuff. These were actual things. And the swordsman actually went to the writers and were like, we should throw this stuff in there in their banter. So they show that they are really, truly trained fighters. And it was, you know, the only scene that wasn't one of them, or the only part of that sword fight that wasn't one of them, is when Wesley did the flip. He did the little, you know, gymnastics flip. But other than that, yeah, it was all them. And yeah,
No consequence.
oh, I must know.
Get used to disappointment.
And of course, anytime they talk about Andre, you're almost on the brink of tears in that book, because they just absolutely love the guy. And the two coolest things I found on filming that with Andre were, one, it was rather cold in England where they were, and you know, Robin was in this, you know, thin dress, so Andre would stand there with his hand on her head, and that would warm her up. Because his hand would cover her head.
That's awesome.
And the other one was when they're climbing the Cliffs of Insanity, and you know, Andre's got them all attached to him, and he's climbing up the rope. They're actually on a forklift, and because of course he couldn't carry any of them. When Robin Wright fell into his arms at the end, she was actually on a harness because he couldn't catch her. There's no way he couldn't have held her weight because his back was so bad. So he's got, you know, everybody strapped to him, and they're standing on this platform. Wally Shawn was deathly afraid of heights, deathly afraid, and didn't tell them ahead of time. And he's like, I didn't know we were going to be doing it like this, you know, actually raising up. And so he's, you know, and he was in front of Andre. And,
So he's just looking him right in the eyes.
well, but Mandy said, you know, Andre just stopped and starts petting Wallace Shawn's head, and he goes, "It's okay, I got you. It's okay."
That's
He
awesome.
said you just see Wally just calm down and start doing his lines, and you know, it's just really cool.
That's awesome.
The best, of course, you know, one of the smallest parts in the movie, which is one of the absolute best parts of the movie, is Miracle Max. Billy Crystal. Rob Reiner had to watch from a video screen in another room because his laughing
Yes.
was ruining takes.
Yes. They're like, get out. You can't do this. You need to go away.
And it was all ad-libbed. It was basically, this is who your character is. This is what your character is going to be doing. Be Billy Crystal.
Look who knows so much about death.
Yeah. Or Billy Crystal still says to this day, he's like, my favorite line I did in it was the MLT. You know, mutton less than tomato when the mutton is nice and lean.
And the tomatoes are so perky.
But he's, you know, he's still, and I listened to Billy because Billy Crystal spoke on it too, and he's like, you know, he still remembers every line, like he's still spouting out the lines. It was so good. And you know, of course, Carol Kane playing his wife, and she was on there as well, and yeah, she was. I mean,
She's a genius.
but they said, you know, they were all having trouble. There was one scene you can actually see in the movie that actually made the movie where you see Mandy Patinkin barely get his line out because he's trying not to laugh. He said
his noble. His
Yeah.
wife is.
Yeah,
Oh,
but he
you
said,
a bad liar.
he said his only injury in the entire movie was a bruised rib from laughing at Billy Crystal.
That's awesome.
That's really cool stuff. I mean, you know, when you hear about this type of movie being made, this iconic now movie, this, you know, it's now 30 years.
Yeah.
Is, you know, and then hearing these stories now about how everything they went through to get it made in the first place.
And nobody thought it was going to be worth anything. They thought it was going to be like
The
direct to
marketing,
VHS.
the marketing was shit on this movie. It was really bad. They had, and the poster showed it as like a kiddie movie, and that really screwed them up. And you know, and because the poster showed like, you know, a couple of the characters, and then like Fred Savage sitting in his bed, you know, and people are like, what is this? Yeah, and so the marketing was really bad, and the numbers came back just terrible. But you know, it became one of those just iconic movies. Once it hit, you know, VHS, it just flew off the shelves at Blockbuster. And
oh my God!
Yeah, I know, right?
there are no Scadians who have not seen that movie.
Yeah,
it's not possible. There are some Scadians, very few, who haven't seen Monty Python's Holy Grail. Very few. But Princess Bride, not a one.
She's never seen it all the way through.
Monty Python's Holy Grail. It's hard to dig through. If you're not really a Monty Python person,
Or British humor.
I can see that. Now, if you get the Monty Python DVD, there is an outtake DVD, and you put it in there, and it's them speaking Japanese with the translation at the bottom. And so when he says, we're looking for the Holy Grail, it says we're looking for the Holy Sake Cup. Or the magical sake cup. And when the Frenchman goes, your mother was a hamster and your father smelt of elderberry, it says you come from questionable lineage.
Yeah.
So that was pretty damn good. They
Yep.
do that whole scene in Japanese, and that's freaking awesome.
That's funny.
That's what you do, by the way, when you translate a film.
Mm-hmm.
You have the translations complete. Then you give it to somebody who's never seen the film, and you have them listen to it, and they're a native speaker, and they write it down in English. And then you look at the translation to see if they got the translation right.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times that doesn't work well. Like the Nashville Predators, for some unknown reason, they wanted Nashville Predator stuff in Japanese. And it came back the Nashville Kitty Cats. And they were like, yeah, we need to work on that translation, boss. No, boss, this isn't working. Craziness.
Oh, we got a comment.
Oh.
You guys make a cute couple.
We are a cute couple.
Columbus Macaron.
Hi, Columbus.
Macaron. Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
I don't think they're watching anymore, but
Yeah.
We do all right.
Yeah. But no, I mean, yeah, when you're hearing like Monty Python, that's one of the classics. I mean, actually, that immediately popped in my head. No, Pooftas.
Oh,
You remember that one?
yeah.
Hello, Bruce. Hello, Bruce. This is a new guy here.
We'll just call you Bruce.
His name is Michael. Your name's not Bruce? No? Well, that's going to get confusing. Can we call you Bruce?
Yeah.
It was like the University of Australian something.
This is American beer. Kind of like a canoe. You know, fucking close to water. How do you not like that? That's awesome.
So good.
I had a professor.
Are you a poofta?
I had a professor. Yeah, I had a professor who was Canadian in college a million years ago, and he used the fucking close to water canoe thing, and I said, "Do you like Molson Red?" And he was like, "Molson Red?" I said, "For an A, I can get you a 12-pack." Because it was a business class, so we were entering negotiations at that point. And he goes, I don't know. 12-pack's probably a B. Case might be an A. And I'm like, let me call somebody. Because my aunt at the time lived in New York, right on the border of Canada. And they used to smuggle Molson Red. Because you could only get Molson Yellow in the States. And it wasn't very good. But the Molson Red was good stuff. So, it was by Labatt.
Molson's by Labatt?
I think it was.
Labatt's a different brand.
I think it used to be like Molson Labatt.
No, Labatt's a different. You have Labatt Blue, and you have Molson.
Is it two different things?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this was 30 years ago, dude. What the fuck do I remember?
Oh.
I look at my girls and go, "Hey, you," because
Yeah.
at this point, names mean nothing.
Yep. Basically.
Too damn funny.
Ray Thomas, the founding member of the Moody Blues, died on Thursday at the age of 76.
Oh man.
The Blues are gone.
Wow.
Some of them. Damn.
And he was
Crazy. Crazy. But, you know, that's
Well,
what's
it is.
happening now.
And apparently somebody is pulling
Did
kids.
you ever see Bright?
No, I haven't watched that yet. I gotta watch it.
Dude, I've seen some dumb articles on Bright. Like, dumb. People try to read way too damn much into it. You know what? It's an action movie. Get over yourself. Just chill the fuck out and enjoy the movie. There's a lot of funny in that movie. What the hell are you doing?
I was ignoring a phone call.
But yeah. So you couldn't even watch the video about the kid who was screaming, "Take me home"?
No, I heard her watching it, and oh, that's right, because I got to talk about the other one. So, his dad's all excited, right? Obviously, very wealthy. He's all excited. He's outside with his phone, filming the new car. He just bought a 16-year-old daughter, which looks to be an early '80s Countach, Lamborghini Countach.
That's not real.
No, it's not.
I can already say that's not real because if you buy somebody a Lamborghini, they're
Well, no. Here's what happens. So he goes in there and he shows her the keys, and she's like, "All right." So they go outside. He has her back out the door, and then he gets in front of her and he says, "All right, turn around." And she turns around. And she goes, "What's that?" He goes, "That's a Lamborghini." She goes, "That's not a Lamborghini." He goes, "Yeah, it's a Lamborghini Countach." She goes, "How old is it?" She's like, "I wanted the Aventus or whatever, a 2016 Aventus, and I wanted it in white." And he's like, "This is a good car. Are you kidding me? This is a Lamborghini Countach. It goes 180 miles an hour. I mean, come on. This is a good car." She's like, "My friends are going to laugh at me for that." Are you kidding me? You know how many kids, when I was growing up, wanted a Countach? Are you serious?
dude. If you get like and I'm assuming it was in really good condition.
Yeah, it was gorgeous, and it was a red one. Like the classic red Lamborghini. It was gorgeous.
You know the saddest part about Lamborghinis?
What?
I can't fit in one.
That's funny because
You have to be 6 foot or below to fit in a Lamborghini.
the writing in Cars with Comedians, the very first one was Jim Carrey. And Jerry Seinfeld picked him up in a 76 Countach. And you see Jim Carrey's knees like above the dash.
One of the guys at Hybrid drove a Lamborghini. And he goes, "Hey, Doc, you want to sit in my car?" And he lifted the door up, and I looked in it, and I went, You're killing me. You are physically killing me right now." And I tried to get into it, and I couldn't get my knees under the steering wheel, and I got out of it, and I said, "I will hate you forever." Yeah, certain sports cars I literally cannot get into.
What she wanted.
What?
Aventador.
Aventador. That's what she wanted, was an Aventador.
Okay, Aventador.
Whatever.
You're an idiot. But yeah, I've tried to get into there was another sports car that I actually got into, and I couldn't get out. I'm stuck in this dude's sports car, and I'm like, So I had to literally wiggle, and thank God it was a convertible. The only reason I could get out of this car was it was a convertible, and I got and popped myself out of the top of this car and slid out the side.
See, kids?
Build a damn freaking.
It doesn't pay to be tall.
Does
Can't
not
get-
pay to
you
be
can't
tall.
drive cool things.
You're 6'2". You cannot drive a Lamborghini. It's gutting.
You're only 6'2"?
Gutting. Yeah.
I figured you were like way bigger.
No. Scott is 6'4", 6'5", and you can tell when we're standing next to each other. He's looking down at me. Yeah, I'm only 6'2". But yeah.
Yeah, I would have totally
Shut
given you 6'4".
My no. In fact, one of my best friends was 6'4", and you could see the difference when we were next to each other. But in fact, it was really talking about the SCA. The only good thing that has ever come out of New Jersey is my grand knight and his lady. Lady Pagan, Mistress Pagan, actually. of the Kingdom of the East. I don't think they're still in the East. I think they moved to Florida, and Sir Tarek, and they are fantastic people. And my wife and I, love them to distraction. We haven't seen them in 15 years. We just love these people. Well, there's this one time where Arath and I are walking pagan somewhere at Penzic, and I've got a hood on, and Arath's got a black hoopalon on, and we are flanking this tiny little 5'5" lady, and we walk into the camp, and she's got her little sewing bundle, and we come up behind her, and as we approach the bonfire, the entire camp goes silent. And they're just staring at her. And Pagan's like, oh, hey, how you doing? Blah, 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 blah. And nobody's saying nothing. And they're all just looking at her. And they're looking at us. And this one guy goes, in Jersey, yo, Pagan, what's with the muscle?
That's awesome.
To his passing day, Arath and I used to laugh hysterically at that. Because, yeah, we just walk, and it's like there was never a point in time when she was safer than when we were on each side of her walking into this. Nice. They were just like, oh my God. And she's like, oh, that's just the boys, And they're like, oh my God. Sir Amalric used to joke all the time, and he's like, you don't want to kill me. You'll have to fight my squires.
Yeah, so on another note, I do have to graciously say congratulations to the Atlanta Falcons beating my Rams yesterday. I am not upset. We went from 4-12 to 11-5. Can't be mad.
Wow.
Good young team.
Really?
Yeah,
Did you guys make the Super Bowl? I mean, the playoffs?
Yeah, we played yesterday. Yeah, we played yesterday against the Falcons. Falcons knocked us out of the playoffs.
Oh, wait, the playoffs already started.
Yeah, they started yesterday.
Shit.
You guys play today against the Panthers. Yeah, I mean, from 4-12 to 11-5, I can't be mad. It's a good young team. We're going to be good for years to come. Yeah. We got a great offensive-minded coach and a great defensive coordinator. What's funny is our coach is the youngest coach since 1938, and he's 31 years old. And his defense.
Did you see Josh's comment about that?
Yes. His defensive coordinator is Wade Phillips, who is 70 years old. And Al Michaels made the joke yesterday during the game that they have a defensive coordinator on Medicare and a coach in daycare.
Our friend Josh, who's awesome. Josh is actually a good kid.
He's been on the show before.
Absolutely. And but Josh goes, oh my God, the Rams coach is my age. I feel like I've wasted my life.
I haven't accomplished anything. And I was like, you haven't. But
damn.
Speaking of football, though, Donald Trump has announced that we'll be sending Blake Bortles over to North Korea to overthrow Kim Jong-un. Blake Bortles is the quarterback for the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Well, he's not going to be in any shape to do anything.
Overthrow.
Oh, Nikes! That's awesome. I just got it. Good. Yep. Keep overthrowing, bitch. Go to Korea. I'm a Saints fan. So we need to pick that dude's ass over and over and over today. Oh my God. I'm so worried. I can't say anything positive.
You're not playing against him. He's a Jaguar. I said you're playing the Panthers. Jaguars are AFC, man.
Somebody was saying they want to see a Saints Pittsburgh Super Bowl.
Why?
I don't know. I want the Saints in, obviously. But
Wilt Chamberlain, Arnold Schwarzenegger, and Andre the Giant. Conan the Destroyer set 1984. Andre is dwarfed by Wilt Chamberlain and Arnold.
Arnold Schwarzenegger is only 6'2".
Yeah, so he is dwarfed by
2 7-footers.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And you know what's funny is I was talking about, we were talking about before the show, Toys That Made Us. It's a 4-part series on Netflix. They were talking about making the He-Man toys, and they're like, we kind of went on Conan a little bit, but we made this guy like, if
super Conan.
I mean, he's so ripped. He's like we figured he's about 6'2" and 700 pounds. So he makes Conan look like a teeny little dude. But actually, what's funny about making those is because the toys came first on those. because
Yeah, I remember that.
Kenner already had Star Wars, and
Mhm.
So it was trying to come up
They
with.
used to all come with comics.
That's what started it. They went to one company and said, one distribution company, which was like good or kid something. It was a child place. It was the competitor of Toys R Us at the time, and they went to them. I mean, they're like, hey, would you distribute these toys and everything? They're like, but you got nothing to go with it. There's no TV show, no movie or anything. It's like, so there's no backstory of these characters. Didn't we tell you? We're going to put a comic book in every one of them.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, and then
this is the hilarious part. I remember all this.
Yeah. So they go to Toys R Us next, and Toys R Us is like, so I mean, kids aren't really into comics at this point. Right now at this time, I mean, they weren't big at the moment. It's like kids don't want to read. They're this is the age of Saturday cartoons, and every day's cartoons are
We've
TV.
got a cartoon
We're
on the way.
We're gonna have 2 feature films that we're gonna put out, and they're like, oh, okay. And then they went to
Dolph Lundgren.
No, feature cartoon films.
I have the power.
They were supposed to be cartoon films, but when they went to Filmation, and the Filmation goes, how about we do this, because we've never done this before. How about we make the 30-minute cartoons and syndicate it, because there's no cartoons that have ever been syndicated before.
Oh.
So they did that, and Inspector Gadget were the first 2 syndicated cartoons.
No.
So He-Man and the Masters of the Universe was on every day, every weekday, 5 days a week after school. And which tripped me out, because it is the original. There was only 2 seasons of He-Man, but there's 130 episodes.
Wow.
Because each season was 65 episodes.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Because they went on forever.
Yeah. And it stayed in syndication. So it was on for years.
Yeah.
And I looked at it. I was like 65 episodes for one season, and I remembered it was on every day after school. And so the fact that there was a cartoon and a comic was all just because the distribution wanted something for people to know the characters from.
That's genius.
They came up with so many characters, and even the guys doing the Filmation guys came up with some of the characters too that they had to make characters for. I mean, but there was a bunch of the figures that never made it to the cartoon that were out. There's a whole lot of them. And Skeletor came about because the guy who started designing He-Man, after they brought up the idea and named him He-Man and everything like that, the guy who really started doing the drawings for it all. When he was a kid, he was at the Pike Amusement Park and went through their haunted house, and he said, I swear to God, this skeleton dropped down, and I knew it was a real person. I just knew it. All my life, I knew this was a real person, and that's where he got the idea for Skeletor, because that's what really scared him as a kid, was that skeleton dropping down. He said, and then I find out 60 years later, I'm watching Discovery Channel, and it was a real body in there. That really was a real person at the Pike Amusement Park that they kept dropping in front of kids.
Like real
wow.
person or
It was a real skeleton. There's a real dead.
Oh, okay. So it wasn't like a dude who dropped down.
No, it was a dead. Yeah, it was.
Yeah, well, back in the day, they didn't have fake skeletons. They were.
Do you know where the majority of all bones for scientific and
Jack the Ripper?
yeah,
No, he incinerated his shit. Remember?
Not all of them.
No.
India,
Oh.
Interesting.
because they cremate everybody. So what they do is, it's part of their thing is they cremate you, and once you're cremated, then they either throw you in the Ganges or they polish you off and send you to medical school.
Nice.
So that's where skeletons used to come from. Skeletons, skulls, even just skulls, are expensive.
Mm-hmm.
Holy crap. So that when they figured out how to do injected molded spines and skulls and stuff like that, you look at an injected molded skeleton, it's $1,500. You look at a real skeleton, oh my God, thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars.
That was actually how Jack
Holy
the Ripper
crap.
funded a lot of his...
Yes.
He would sell bones.
He would sell the whole body.
Oh,
No.
wow.
No.
Oh, that's right. He would take it to the guy, and the guy would strip it down.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, it's...
But it's on like medical schools
ridiculous.
and stuff
Oh, yeah.
like that.
Well, the original medical schools funded grave robbing.
Yes. They showed that in Gangs of New York. When they went to rob the ship and somebody had already robbed it and killed everybody on it, they're like,
Just took the bodies.
yeah, they just took the bodies and sold them.
Now the crazy part is that was before formaldehyde.
Yeah.
So you had to do all your dissecting quick.
And you had to do it real fast.
Because I have a friend, Harvey, who's he was an EMT for years, and I asked him, dude, why don't you be a nurse? I mean, you're huge amount of medical knowledge already. You know, you've been doing this forever. Nothing's going to gross you out. And he goes, Nick, have you ever smelled a hurt person? It's disgusting. Like, the smell in a hospital is nothing compared to, you know, when you cut a person open. It's, people on the inside are gross, which is why I'm a chiropractor. The grossest thing I have to deal with are 93-year-old ladies that when you push on them, they fart really hard. And they do. Dude, the 93-year-olds, 2 of them, have cleared the room. And I had to sit there with tears rolling out of my eyes going, all right, ma'am, I'm not going to mention names. I'll see you later. Oh, Jesus, I forgot. Let me open the door for a little while. Okay, you guys can come in. No, light a candle. So I used to keep a big thing of one of those big industrial match things to clear the room. Are we getting close?
5 minutes.
Oh, okay. But, yeah, brutal. Brutal. I don't know what climbed in these old ladies and died, but it was, holy shit. Awesome. Just amazing.
I think we're coming to the end.
Sure.
Yeah.
And an old lady farts.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of farts, let me read this to you guys. This was a missed connection and Craigslist.
A missed connection. I had a missed connection. We'll get into that.
And it's titled, "You farted in Kroger yesterday." So it goes, "You were the tall brunette with the near perfect body that farted in the bread section last night. I was the tall guy next to you that looked over and asked, 'Was that you?' You quickly replied, 'No, it wasn't me.' You almost seemed insulted, I would ask. As the stink grew, you continued to deny your flatulence, but it was evident. I tried to get rid of the stench by waving 2 loaves of ciabatta bread. You proceeded to storm off in an angry manner. You are beautiful, and even if you are a liar and fart like a Clydesdale, I'd love to meet up."
That's great.
That's awesome. So, Mrs. Dr. Nick got a little angry because a friend of ours, actually, maybe I can find it.
Oh, God.
Because a friend of ours,
This is worrying me.
it's hilarious. It actually is really funny.
Okay.
Mrs. Dr. Nick is a redhead. We've talked about her before. And she has a wee bit of the jealousy thing. She doesn't have green eyes, but she has a little bit of jealousy. I don't know that I can be able to find this, but we'll see what we got. Give me a second. It's really far down.
Jesus.
Oh, wait. Yep, there it is. Okay. So, come on. Okay, so this is Missed Connections. Yep, I'm posting this. I probably shouldn't, but I feel the need to. You and I would have been a great couple. I feel a strong connection between you and can't act on it because I know you're taken. I've liked you since we first met, and now I'll probably never see you again. I've often wondered if you've noted the chemistry between us. You're such a good guy and so handsome. I wish you nothing but the best in life. If you're ever single again, I'll hit you up. And that was the first one. So a bunch of guys are asking him, It says, edited. So many guys have asked for more details. This awesome guy is a chiropractor in Virginia Beach. Chances are he won't see this, but since he's a ninja, he very well could. So
this was probably a patient who was leaving.
Maybe.
Because they said they'll never see you again.
Yeah.
Was it a dude?
Maybe.
There's a way to find out. Look at that.
Well, you can't because this is a copy.
Yeah, I know, but no. Click on it.
Hold on. How do you tell?
Oh, maybe you can't. Oh, yeah. It's a woman.
Women for man. Oh, there you go. Oh, thank God for that. I didn't even know. I just thought it was funny. But yeah, so the
Stray
white
Cats are being reunited for the first time in 10 years.
What?
Brian Setzer, Stray Cats.
Reuniting? Nice. I also saw Fleetwood Mac is doing another tour. I would love to see them, but I'm not paying $200 for it because you know that's how much those tickets were.
No, they're much more.
Yeah. I do want to see one, and I know I can't afford the tickets at the moment, but Tape Face is coming.
Tape Face.
I'll show you when we're done. But yeah, I think that's about it, though, huh?
Yep, it's 3:28.
Well, I mean, we don't have a set time. It's just we figure around 2 hours.
Consistency is key.
We've done 2.5 before, and we didn't even realize it. Yeah.
And we've also done 147.
Yeah.
Yeah, in just an hour.
Yeah, we did do just an hour once. So, I guess until next week, guys.
Take it easy, guys. We love you.
Yep, we'll see you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye.